Hey, I'm Brian, Dr. Yamasaki. I'm here with my best friend, Brandon Kaiser. We're at the Bernales Institute of Martial Arts in Salt Lake City, Utah. I actually had our first technique request the other day. Someone saw our jab counter series, liked it, and said, that's great, but you know, in the amateur ranks, more times than not, you won't see a lot of jabs being used. Instead, you see a lot of big overhand rights, the haymaker, and in a lot of traditional styles, and even amongst some of the more informed technicians out there, they kind of scoff at that overhand right. But I've had problems with it myself, and I've seen several of our students have problems with that overhand right. It's a very dangerous punch.
Yeah, it can throw you off when it's not, that traditional good form punch that you're used to seeing.
And there's something to be said about someone gritting their teeth, balling up their fist, and looking at you with kill in their eyes, basically. That can kind of mess you up if you haven't seen it a lot before, and that really addresses what can happen in the amateur ranks.
Another point on that too is I don't think in the streets you're going to see a lot of jabs coming either.
No,
usually
no,
people
sure.
got that one shot. It's going to be the big heavy right.
Oh man, I'll bet you we could probably dig up some footage from the UC archives where I've seen guys just, and you can see they're ready to throw that right. It's coming. A lot of great research has been done on this from the Dog Brothers, Mark Denny, and the Dog Brothers talking about the Joe Generic Caveman MMA guy. And also just, they had a great series on just the sticks, and the concepts still apply as far as college is concerned. You see, a lot of times you see all this flowery stuff, guys spinning the stick all over the place. And really, so long as you have a big one of these, woof, and you can whistle that stick, and you've got a big one of these, woof, and you can whistle that stick, you're always going to be a force to be reckoned with. And I think that the overhand right's basically the equivalent of that when we're talking empty hands.
Yeah.
So long as you can ball that fist up and throw for broke, you're going to be a threat to be reckoned with. So we're going to work on a couple of ways. Again, this isn't all of the ways or necessarily the best ways. I'm going to try to cover a series of techniques that will hopefully address various skill levels for different practitioners. So the first one's the simplest, very easy, and the safest. So we're going to go from easiest and safest to with the least potential for gain towards the most complex, the most timing-oriented, but with the most potential for gain. So our first one is right here, and it's almost laughable, but people forget it because they key into the person's expression, they freak out and they freeze up. But the best way to deal with this, in my opinion, especially if you haven't trained a lot, is that big overhand right's coming, is just circle away from it. Get on your bicycle, get your feet moving. We're over here. You see that big overhand right? Get out of town. Don't try to block it. Don't try to do, sometimes the knee-jerk reaction, especially for untrained guys, is to put their hands up and out, and that's why it's so dangerous. It's built to come around that barrier. Bang. So rather than do that, move your feet. Move your feet. Even if it connects to a degree, you take a lot of power off that punch by circling away from it. All right, so we're not going to spend too much time on that, although you should kind of take a mental note that that's the safest way and the highest percentage way to deal with that. All right, circling away from the overhand right, or if he's a lefty, the overhand left, circling away from it.
That's such a good one too, and like you said, I think you just forget when somebody has kill in your eyes and they reach back for that, the first initial reaction is just to sink in and not move,
Or pull up, or do this, or turn away, and all those things can get you into trouble. So the next one is what we call the snapback. What you want to do is you're going to watch my rear heel here is up. This is my basic boxing stance, and I want two things to happen when I do the snapback, or three. I want to pretend like there's a string connected from the bottom of my chin going through my body and tying into the back of my heel here. So what happens is I want my heel to drop back, and as it drops back, it pulls a string on my chin, and my chin comes down like this, okay? If you really want to be safe, you can put your two hands on your chin and come back this way. Now, you don't want to lean back like this because, again, that puts the chin up in the air, and it also makes it hard for me to recover and return. So if I'm back like this, it's going to be hard to come back. I want my chin down so I can dip and then come back this way. All right, so this is called the snapback. And remember, this is all based on the idea that this guy's thinking about hitting you right on the tip of the chin or on the front part of your face. Go ahead. Bang. That's where he's aiming, not back here. So he throws it, boom. And when it's coming in, you snap back, and boom, right hand, left hand, bang, bang. If you've got more of a Muay Thai background, whenever you finish the left hook, bang, 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 right kick. All right, the snapback, one more time. Heel drops, the chin comes down, and you come right back with the right cross, a left hook, and a right kick. Okay? Boom, he gets his in. Maybe even take one, oh, and he winds up again. Whoop, bop, bop, bang. The more you can cheat on this overhand right, meaning the more evasive you get, the harder it is to get back into range to counter. The more you kind of cheat and barely just get this guy to whiff, the more potential for disaster, but the more potential for reward. Pop, pop, bang. Okay, one more time, the snapback. Snapback, pop, pop, boom. Remember, the heel drops back. That's what helps you get that 2 or 3 inches of range, which is about what you're going to need. And then right hand, left hook, right kick. The snapback, counter number 2.